drop the gravity sphere like this, you'll notice that the cubes absorb them and they'll explode. So I'm just quickly going to engage into the game, and quickly you'll notice that my head movements also interact with the camera movements in game. So if I go forwards, you'll notice that I'm also zooming in. If I go backwards, it's zooming out, purely controlled by my head movements, which is being captured by my web camera. So quickly you'll notice that this is like a virtual space from the corner of the room. Let me just show you. There are chaos particles in the center of the screen. So currently I'm showcasing Halvorsen. You can see how they are behaving. These two doors that you see are inspired from portals. So if I go through one, I'll appear in the other space. So if I go through yellow, I'll come in blue. Another thing that I quickly want to show you is if I spawn cubes, which you can see in the bottom right, there are all the controls to do things. I've spawned all of these cubes, right? I have something called gravity gun. So when I drop, so that the entire gravity grenade is exploding in a confined space. But if I go to the corner of the room and if I throw this gravity grenade, it will instead come targeting me. So that's an interaction I've created. You see the small space here. This is the spring in which you can test the gravity. So if I pick up a cube and if I take it there, it should ideally work. So if I right click and pick it up, this is taken from Half-Life 2 when you're interacting with objects, and I can move all the way to the sphere, to the spring, sorry, and if I leave it here, you'll quickly notice that it will start interacting with the gravity. So if I change from Earth to Moon, you'll quickly notice that even the entire gravity of the room changes. So it gives you that effect of the gravity of Moon. Then you have Jupiter, which is even more heavier. And you have, yeah, it's shattered because the gravity is so intense. You also have something called zero gravity. So anything that is just floating will keep floating indefinitely. And then you have inverse, which will take all these objects and will take them to the ceiling. And if I press and come back to Earth's gravity, they'll all fall back down. Another thing is I have something called singularity. So if I press C, all these objects will go and interact with the chaos particles that you notice here. So this is currently Halvorsen. I can change them to Lorentz also. So you'll notice how they're interacting. And you have Thomas. A beautiful space to observe how the chaos particles interact with each other, right? I can also do something called hive mind. So if I disable the singularity and if I select hive mind, these objects will interact however they like. It's completely at random. Sometimes they'll get together or not, depending on how they want to behave. So I'll come back to singularity. The thing is, rewind time is only for a small set of period, about a few couple of seconds, and you'll notice that they are back to their original positions. Another thing is, if I spawn something and then if I try to rewind time, they're not going to go away. It's not going to disappear. The object is still going to be there. Pretty neat, right? I also have grappling. So let's say I'm in Earth's gravity. If I go to Moon's gravity, jump, and yeah, I can just hold on to the ceiling and move around. It's not completely smoothened out, but it's given that effect of swinging, you know, kind of like Spider-Man. Inspired from it, of course. But you can see this entire behavior. Pretty smooth, right? Hope you guys like this.